get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast.
Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I fight. I know what he said about getting slapped. But if you touch me or mine, we gon' have to scrap. Oh. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I'm fine. I have no problem laying these hands.
That motherfucking bass so hard.
Don't try me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus.
Y'all listening?
Please don't try me.
Try your Lord and Savior before you try me.
Fight.
'Cause I fight.
What he said.
What is?
Turn the other cheek.
Woo.
Oh, but this one part of the Bible that just don't sit right with me. So try Jesus.
Try your Jesus.
Please don't try me, 'cause I fight.
Oh, yes, I do.
I have no problem laying these hands.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Rob Benjamin. This is I'll Piss You Off Shortly with Joe Aguirre. As the song stated, try Jesus, try your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the big man himself above, before you try me. With all this bullshit going around. So yeah, I think this is gonna be kind of like the theme of this episode is trying Jesus. And when I say that, like, there's a lot of people that tried Jesus this week, and I guess that's what we want to say. If they tried Jesus, but some of them won, some of them lost. But yes, I love that song. That's my little motivation.
It's funny. I don't know why or what possessed you to pick that. We just finished the politics show, Divided We Stand, and it went off the rails. And maybe because I could sense that we had some try Jesus in our future. It's funny as I listen to that song, I think to myself, that is the epitome of Christianity today. I'm going to pick out the shit I like and fuck the rest of it. That's pretty much how it works. You know what I mean? Like they hear a Bible story now and they just pick out the parts they like. And it's like, did you get the lesson about loving your neighbor? And you're like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. They just take what they want. And,
that pussy shits for Jesus. Put him in a cage and separate him from their kid. God damn it.
And then the Lord will save them again. The Lord just got to put them on the Lord's backboard. Because, oh, shit, the Lord has a waiting queue. they just have to get moved over, just like if they're at the DMV. That's it. We figured. You know how many things we've been figuring out at I'll Piss You Off Shortly?
It has
We've
to happen.
figured it out. It's
Someone's got to do the research, Rob.
You know, and we do it here. Only here will you get these nice hot takes that actually like come true and make sense. Where like you can't even get the politicians over in DC to make as much sense as we do. Two men here on I'll Piss You Off Shortly. So yeah, don't try Jesus. Try us. Try us, and I'll piss you off shortly. I think we predict better futures than Miss Cleo. And if you don't know who Miss Cleo is, do your research, you young person. If you really don't know who Miss Cleo is, you probably shouldn't be watching this. Probably this is probably beyond your bedtime.
You know what? I'm gonna make sure that's not the only Miss Cleo reference on tonight's show.
Oh, doom. Well, I wish somebody had this guy Matthew Doloff. I wish he had Miss Cleo's predictability. So Matt Doloff, he decided to bring pepper spray to a gunfight and got his ass clapped. I've tried so hard to find this video. Apparently this was in Denver this past couple days ago. There was a protest. A bunch of right-wing activists. They were out there protesting their rights and liberties in the pursuit of happiness, blah, 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 blah. And then Black Lives Matter and Antifa apparently comes around with the counter protest. During this protest, there was a situation where apparently Matthew Doloff, who turns out to be a non-licensed security guard, ends up putting one nice shot into a right-wing activist pro nation. I don't know how to say this, but
handsome devil he is.
Yes, thank you, Matthew Doloff, for being a comedic relief, but a unfortunate slander and misappropriation of what we need in protecting yourself. Now, as you see the guy over here in the mace macing, that is not Matthew Doloff. That is some right-wing activist who has unfortunately lost his life to a scary guy claiming to be a security guy called Matthew Doloff, right? And I say this because everybody's like, how are you saying that he's a right-winger? Well, just because he's right-wing doesn't mean I agree that he should have gotten his life taken away from him, right? I was definitely going to go kind of crazy with it, but, tone it down. But as you can see in the video, he's getting pepper sprayed. Oh, Matthew Doloff, who claimed to be a security guard, is getting pepper sprayed and felt his life was in so much danger to put a hole in one of these conservative guys. He's pro-life. I don't want to say pro-lifer because they're definitely not pro-life. Well, they are pro-life, right? I always get confused with that. Okay, yeah, so pro-lifer, conservative, all this other shit. But Matthew Doloff, not only have you made it horrible, just made a shit show out of all these gun laws and gun restrictions. That's probably going to happen if Biden and Kamala Harris do get elected. This is definitely going to go on their radar. So you've definitely hindered my Second Amendment rights a little bit. And now you've really taken away, once again, a white person taking away coming under the Black Lives Matter umbrella, and really taking away what should have been happening, right? Apparently, in the story, it was just back and forth. Matthew Doloff got the shit smacked out of him. And then he didn't like that. And then Matthew Doloff got pepper sprayed and then decided it was time to pull his firearm. So yeah. As much as I because I saw some funny jokes about it and I laughed. I definitely LOL to myself about the guy that got shot and it's unfortunate he lost his life. But the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, as a pro Second Amendment more than pro political side, this hurts. This truly, truly hurts. Because once again, we have people that are obviously too timid and too afraid to truly protect themselves and the ones around them that have firearms. And that's the scary part about it. Once again, it's not, you don't need to control the firearm. You need to control the people that are caring, the people that are misinformed, miseducated, and not even necessarily miseducated, because I was in the military and there was people that
got all the education and training in the world, and they just were too scared of a firearm and too scared of just losing. You know what I mean? They were just scared. They were scary fucking people. Just because you have a firearm doesn't mean it makes you the smartest person or the bravest person in the fucking room. Probably makes you one of the least safest people in the room just because of what you have, right? So I mean, it sucks, but I do. Damn, I really had some good jokes coming into this, but now thinking of as far as like my Second Amendment pro rights, I'm like, fuck, this really sucks. Really sucks.
That Kyle Rittenhausen Bakken, I laughed where kid was like a hero for a couple days there, and I thought, yeah, guys, you want that guy to be your hero? How's that gonna work out? How's that gonna work out when it's like the Dylan or the Kyle Rittenhouse rule is them taking your guns away? So that, I mean, come on, people. This is what I'm talking about. People's just basic understanding of we talked about the Second Amendment. The only way that things ever getting repealed is if somehow the liberals take over the entire country. I mean, all of it. Like the Civil War happens, we win it. Otherwise, the Second Amendment, it wouldn't, in a million years, you would not be able to get that thing overturned. Okay, there's a better likelihood that we'll have an amendment to the Constitution legalizing weed before we have one that takes away your right to a gun. So calm down. God damn it.
And that's the thing. I don't think it's going to take away my right. I don't think it's going to take away my guns. But once again, like, I can't even walk around with a 30-round magazine in the state of Connecticut because they're so, if I have anything more than 10, it's a fucking issue. Like, no, come on, man. Like, let me have my rounds. Why do I need it? Because I don't feel like reloading. How about that?
No offense to any non-licensed security guards, but chances are, if you're a security guard and you're unlicensed, you're probably an idiot.
Yeah.
You're probably not as smart. You don't have a ton of experience or a good, a good resume. You probably don't have great experience. You probably have a poor work history.
And honestly,
there's probably complaints in your files.
You can't get a firearm. Probably that's the thing.
Right. Things haven't gone well. So if you're a security guard,
not judging at all.
No, we shouldn't. I'm sure there's one or two really successful people that decided to get into the unlicensed areas of private security. The lucrative industry of unlicensed security services.
I'm just saying, like, it's too easy. Like, spend the $200 tops to go through the class. Like, it might take you about 6 months, but if you're in there trying to be fucking top flight security of the world, Craig, for the amount of money that they're paying there, because I looked when I got at the military, I said, you know what, I could probably go do security. That's going to be a good idea. No, they're paying like $12.50 an hour for you to stand outside free. Matter of fact, there's a security guard in front of one of the banks I go to. And I feel so sorry for him in the wintertime because he's literally standing there in the freezing fucking cold having to guard this little fucking bank. If somebody comes here trying to stick this up and I'm unarmed, yeah, you can have it. You got it, buddy. You got this bank today.
I would be the worst security guard in the world. No. Believe me.
The fuck out of here. So, yeah, I'm sorry if you're out there, but I would honestly want to know, like, after you've gotten the unarmed security gig, right? Why haven't you made that next step up to get the armed security license?
Your criminal record, clearly.
At that point, you can make more money in a restaurant.
Ov Munez just said it's like $16 to get the license. See? If you don't have the license, it means either you don't have $16 or you have a criminal record and you won't be able to get licensed.
Well,
it's
stop
one
being
or the other or both.
You can make more money in the restaurant industry. I will point you to a restaurant that you can make way more money than sitting there and harming everybody, to include yourself, as an unarmed security guard. I'm sorry. Listen, I know it's too easy to
And yes, listen, they should make it harder to buy a gun. I think there's too many stupid people buying guns.
I totally agree. I feel like after I've proven myself, especially, I haven't, done anything crazy. It should be easier for me now if I want to start getting into other calibers and, you know, other things. But other than that, even at that point, I don't feel like paying for all those licenses. So like, but I should, you know what I mean? I think there should be like some kind of, just like with insurance, you know how like insurance is like, hey, if you don't get in any accidents for 5 years, you get some kind of reward. Cool. If I uphold my right, you know, as a U.S. citizen, and I don't, you know, shoot anybody you know what I mean, without unnecessary force and all that other stuff, I should be able to, you know, access or be able to have other rights than other people that are just getting into the game. This is my opinion. I don't know. It's my little thought process. I love my 30-round magazines. I just want my 30-round magazines back. That's all. Or legally, you know. That's what allegedly.
Ov chimes in one more time. He says, wash dishes to make more money.
I told you. I will put you in the right direction. If you want, I'm telling you. Let's see. A security license in Florida costs you about $100. And even then, Florida, that's just getting the license to be a security guard. Everybody's armed in Florida. You can literally go in a Walmart and just, hey, as long as I got a Florida license, driver's license, I can get a gun.
So again, look, it's like $100 to get licensed. So if you're not licensed, either $100, you don't have $100 to invest into your own future. That's what that boils down to.
You shouldn't be a security guard. I'm sorry.
A dog sitter makes
top careers that make more than an unarmed security. And I'm not shaming you guys. If anybody's listening to this, if you are unarmed security guard, send me your resume. We are going to help you out.
I'll be so pissed if our demo was like unlicensed security guards. That's like our biggest demo. Like, shit, we've offended them all now.
We've all shit.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's funny. But anyways, so thank you, unlicensed security guard Matthew Doloff, for ruining my hopes of ever being able to have a country where I can freely just all over the world across 50 states, to include you, Kyle Rittenhouse, too, because now Donnie will probably never be able to walk around, you know, states just open carrying. So, you know, appreciate it. Damn, I didn't expect that to go that long. But let's talk about since we're talking on dumb. Damn, I almost said something crazy. Since we're talking about dumb idiots saying dumb things, have you ever heard of this dude, Harlan Hill?
I'll be honest, I did not know who Harlan Hill was today, until I literally just looked it up a little while ago. We said a police canine makes more money than an unlicensed security guard.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
I'm pretty sure the K9 has more rank, too. Who's keeping track?
More people's respect.
I'm telling you, if you are an unarmed security guard, please send me your resume. I will make sure we get you in the works, because I know Duncan across the street is hiring. No, you can't even work at the Duncan across my street because they're popping shots over there now too. Somebody just lost their life down the street from my house. Fucking just made the whole block hot. What the hell were we talking? Oh yeah, Harlan Hill. This idiot, this moron. So nobody's heard of Harlan Hill until he made this crazy statement about towards Senator Harris. And I believe this idiot, to I quote verbatim, this asshole had the nerve to call our lovely vice president nominee, right? That's how I say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had the nerve to call her hold on.
An insufferable lying bitch.
There we go. Insufferable. I almost said a different word. Lying. Listen here, Harlan. You know what's insufferable?
Your virgin on TV giving us advice.
That I was gonna say, what is it, Jonah Hill? But Jonah Hill looks better and more funnier than him. So, like, I'm pretty sure when this goes like to a movie theater or whenever somebody scripts this, Jonah Hill, please play him. Like, he looks like the Wolf of Wall Street, the character from Jonah Hill. That's what he looks like. And you know what his wife looks like? His wife looks like his fucking sister. So, you know, that's insufferable. Your wife is an insufferable lying bitch for thinking that she actually fell in love with you to marry you. That's an insufferable lying bitch, Harlan Hill. So don't you ever come out your mouth to ever disrespect another black woman like that again, because you wouldn't say that shit in front of anybody's face, and you wouldn't say that shit behind your camera, outside of the cameras. And I'm glad Fox News fucking fired your ass and said they didn't want anything else to do with your ass, which actually kind of surprised me. But for you to call her that, I don't know what kind of entitlement you have. And he's probably one of those kids that probably, if he got poked, he probably got poked fun enough that he wanted to blow up the school. That he looks like one of the kids that would be trying to shoot up the school because somebody didn't take his virginity fucking senior year. You fucking coward. Your wife probably hasn't even fucked you yet, you little dick bastard.
Well, don't let it be lost on you that Harlan Hill said this, and he's since, by the way, been banned from all platforms of Fox News. This is the network that's paid out about $100 million in sexual harassment lawsuits to its former female employees over the last decade. Nice job, Fox News. This is again another example of Republicans and conservatives' disrespect for women, disrespect for minorities, disrespect for, the list goes on and on and on, but this is just a perfect example. Why would you think this day and age to make a comment like that would be acceptable on a national platform, on a cable network channel that's already got credibility issues? You thought that was the thing to say? Again, this is all just red meat trying to get the base fired up because they're getting their asses handed to them, and they're going to lose to a black woman after having spent 8 years with a black guy as the president. Rob, I'm telling you, it's got to be driving those real nationalists.
Oh, yeah.
Really mad right now. The nationalists really don't like that.
And it sucks that she can't come out and really just, because an angry black woman is exactly that to America. An angry, crazy black woman, instead of just being an angry woman who's been violated and disrespected by every old white male politician in this fucking country. So forbid she comes out and does the same kind of, same kind of treatment that they're giving. Imagine if Kamala Harris came out and was like, you short, stubby, virgin looking, four-eyed bitch. They would have fucking, Like, she can't come out and say that kind of shit. They would have lost their fucking mind. Who is she? She needs to go back in her place. They would have been trying to put her in her fucking place. Well, guess what? To all you fucking pieces of shit out there that think that this shit's acceptable, it's not. So you got another fucking thing coming. You got another thing coming if you think that that's what you think is acceptable, because it's not. This shit's not acceptable. And you do that shit around me, you definitely probably gonna get the shit smacked out of you. Especially if your wife looks like the way Harlan Hill's wife looks like. Let me find this picture so I can see you, because I want to post this shit the fuck up, because she looks fucking hideous. You can't tell me that you have the audacity to call Kamala Harris a bitch, but your wife looks like a 12-year-old emo fucking. Let me find this damn fucking lost soul. Fucking chick got me all mad, man.
Yeah, well, again, right? This is what I'm saying. It's the we don't talk policy. We don't talk about, at the very least, tell me she was a shitty prosecutor. Tell me she jailed a lot of black people. Tell me things that, twist her record and make her look bad. An insufferable lying bitch. By the way, what she was saying isn't that far off. And again, here's the big thing. There is no precedent in the history of our country for filling a Supreme Court seat a month before an election. And if you look at all the polls, the plurality of Americans think we should wait until after the election to decide who gets that seat. That's just what's going on. That's the reality of the situation. So what are you going to do?
They're going to just sit there and cry. That's all they can do. I've come to the conclusion that the conservatives are this is my ball and I'm taking my ball as soon as I'm leaving the court, and you can't play with it because this is my ball. And if I'm not playing and if I'm a loser, then nobody can play with my ball. That's it. That's all they fucking are. They're a bunch of fucking losers. Sore losers, sore sports, so whatever. Harlan Hill, take that shit outside, say that shit outside in public, and watch you get the shit smacked out of you. Because apparently you're too scared to go outside and you're too scared to show your face. So apparently he's been receiving all these death threats. And no, that's not damn, I sent the wrong one. I'm gonna post that shit up. Because I mean,
sister.
I told you so. Yeah, that's it. There we go. Ovi has it. Hold up, we're gonna get this up here. But while we're getting that up here, Trumpito, you're not off the hook either for calling Kamala Harris a fucking monster. You fucking orange piece of shit. Because your wife has been slutted out by how many of your buddies? She was like the slut monkey before you actually decided to wife her. Oh, that's right. You only decided to wife her because you knocked her up. You also want to date and fuck both of your daughters, you disgusting pig. Let's not forget that you're still part of the Epstein trial, which they decided they're not going to say anything because how crazy would it look for them to have to actually arrest the president of the United States on sexual allegations? So like, let's really get here. Who's the real monster, you fucking orange turd? Everybody's like, I'm sick of the bullshit. Like, I'm sick of the bullshit. Everybody's scared. Like, nobody's really giving this dude, since Biden's too scared to give this dude the business, since Harris is too scared to give these dudes the fucking business. Like, really, Trump, you're a fucking piece of shit. Your fucking son's a fucking low-life piece of bum that nobody likes. He sits there and picks his fucking boogers. Your fucking wife's a fucking smutted out whore. Your fucking daughters don't even like you. Your sons are fucking frat boys that are losers. Everybody that ever talked about them, that said that they're lame, that the only reason why everybody hung out with them because they were Trumps. Like, come on, your whole fucking family's a whole shit show. You got up here through popularity, which is whatever. Like, now you have this whole cult behind you. I call them Trumpets. All you fucking followers of Trump and all this other bullshit, and this, y'all the Trumpets, and y'all are gonna get played just like those buttons on a fucking trumpet. Like, and I'm sorry, I wasn't even trying to like go off like this, but like, this shit really got me hot. When y'all really affect a black woman and y'all really come for a black woman like this, I don't give a fuck what that. Joe, they got me hot. My mother, the women of my family have always taught me, no matter what, you always protect the black woman. And there's a lot of celebrities and there's a lot of people, not even celebrities, but there's a lot of people that are too scared to protect the black woman. So let me protect this black woman real quick because I feel like there's a necessity to, right? Who the fuck are you old ass white people? Old ass, and who are y'all to sit there and say anything about a black woman? But guess what? Y'all are the first ones that have sexual fantasies about black women. Y'all are the first ones that sit there and want some fucking chocolate, right? Let's use Candace Owens. Oh, everybody's so proud to have Candace Owens, that brown skin chocolate thing, right? Oh, trophies, right? That's your fantasy, your conservative fantasy. That's it. Omarosa. Everybody loved Omarosa until what? Oh yeah, let's not forget. Trump fucking dogged Omarosa and called her a fucking dog, right? So he has no respect for a black woman. None of these old white fucking dudes have any kind of respect for the black woman. And Pence, you're a fucking bitch too. Pence, you're a low-life bitch too. All y'all are bitches. Because y'all would never have the decency to say that in front of a real black man's face. Because I don't give a fuck how many Secret Service agents you got. You would have got fucking drugged. You think a shoe would have got affected you? Nah, fuck that bullshit. Keep this, and that's the problem, y'all. The streets are in there playing with the streets, but meanwhile, we have old ass white soggy ball motherfuckers disrespecting black women. Fuck y'all, and if anybody got a problem with it, report that shit and fuck them too. This should have never came out here. So, yo, I'm hot, Joe.
Well, I'll take it a step further. Trump has no respect for women or for anybody for that matter. And you know, here's the other thing that cracks me up is, you know, for all this talk about the name calling, and the intolerant left who, won't seem to tolerate their racist views or their selfish viewpoints. Donald Trump is the world's biggest bitch.
Biggest bitch.
I mean, have you ever seen anybody overcompensate more than this guy? I mean, he cries and he bitches that everything's unfair. This isn't fair. I mean, oh my God. Talk about an insufferable lying bitch. It's Donald Trump. That fits Donald Trump to a fucking T. Are you guys kidding me with that?
And that's who they got.
This is just classic deflection by the right. Kamala Harris doesn't lie. Donald Trump does. And it's well documented, and it doesn't take but like a quick Google search to see the difference.
And that's my thing. Like I judge you dickheads who value this short dick motherfucker, this short-minded motherfucker as your leader. This is who you tell me that you fucking you moralize and you fucking want to be like, who you fucking think of as a god. This is who you fucking look up to. Y'all are fucking idiots and y'all you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry, like this is who y'all actually support and want to fucking be like. I'm sorry. So yes, I don't feel bad if your fucking daughter gets smutted out and goes out there in the north end of fucking Hartford because she wants to go fucking and get grabbed by her fucking pussy. Go ahead, let her. Go ahead, let her, because that's the person that you fucking let run the fucking country. That's the person that you fucking glorify and do everything else for. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it when Becky has all these fucking issues and has all these worries because she's sitting there twerking on fucking TikTok trying to be like the fucking next person, right? But no, fuck that bullshit. Your fucking president lets the shit happen. I don't want to fucking hear about it. Stop trying to come into our fucking culture. Stop trying to be like us. But everything's so fucking motherfuckers are monsters and shit like that. The fuck out of here. But everybody, matter of fact, let's jump. There's some other shit that I want to get into, but let's go right into yep, that's racist. There's a video. Because this is going right into that. Let's go to conservative trash, because this is exactly what it is, right? Exact example of a video of a white woman that you can tell culturally just wants to be black so bad, but has all the hatred in the world, calling people niggers and everything else. Why do y'all choose to be like this? Y'all hate us so much, but want to be us so much.
Don't matter.
Say it one more time.
Look at this.
Don't matter.
It don't.
No.
You want to be black so bad, you got straight out of whatever. And apparently this is out of fucking.
Okay. Who
Y'all are not us. No, you're not us. With a swastika fucking tattoo.
And you tried to fuck me.
No, I didn't.
Ain't nobody trying to fuck you, dirty bitch. So this is the shit that
racist.
super fucking racist, but everything about her says black culture.
Racist.
Look at this.
Racist.
Straight out of Compton? No, you got that from. Yo, this shit has to stop. This shit literally has to stop. This is the shit that y'all are breeding. Y'all want to be black so bad, but y'all have so much hatred to black people. So much fucking hatred. She's not even from Compton. She has a straight out of whatever bum ass Hickville town she was from, somewhere out of Maryland, or fucking somewhere out. Somebody, I got one of my boys put me on game of where the fuck she's from, trash hick town from either Baltimore, Maryland, fucking Delaware, one of those fucking right areas, right? But everything about you says black culture. But everybody's a fucking nigger. You want to fuck us? No, nobody wants to fuck your dirty meth trash mouth having ass. So how can y'all hate us so much but want to be us? Just like Trump. Just like, come on. All y'all motherfuckers are trash. Pieces of shit fucking trash, and y'all are fucking cowards. If it wasn't for the shit that you had behind you, you wouldn't be talking half of the shit that you're talking now. To goes for Trump. Trump, if you didn't have all that secret security, you get punched dead in your fucking mouth and you know it, and you wouldn't be running that fucking shit. And I hope that when they put you in jail, I hope they get the biggest black, gayest dude to shove a big ass dick up your fucking pruny ass. Because you fucking deserve it, you piece of fucking shit.
Angelica Rose is right along where I thought her name would be like Crystal Ann or one of those stripper names. But Angelica Rose, yeah.
And then Angelica Rose, I think her name was like Angelica Rose Brecker.
Yeah, Angelica Rose Brecker hasn't seen her dad since she was 7 and he left to get a pack of cigarettes. And it's been all downhill ever since then.
All downhill. Her mom was, probably working at the diner 3rd shift, doing fucking meth 1st shift. It's good. I understand, Angelica. You probably gotten fucking ragged out by so much black dick in your life trying to have with your daddy issues that I get why you just think of that every black guy's a fucking nigger. I get it. You just couldn't find love. You were trying to find love in all the wrong places. I get it, Angelica.
If you're using the N-word, that you probably feel
somewhat connected.
Yes. Or injected or however you want to get it. But I think I'm sure white people that think that they can use that word for some, and you've talked about some that that can, and maybe that's a thing, but sometimes I try to say shit's popping, and even that feels fucked up. Can you imagine if I was like, hey, what's up? No, I could just not doing it.
I'm black, and me saying no cap with the young ones is fucking weird as shit. Like, I like the fuck, like, so it's just like, and I'm sorry for anybody that was yelling. If you're listening to this audio, I'm sorry if I just popped in your ear. As far as
there's actually more people listening now than before you started yelling. So
I fired up.
I think you scared some people into checking it out. People were scrolling through Facebook and they were like, I better listen. This guy's pissed.
It's just, like, it's just sickening, man. And I really want to get back to the days where just like people just got the shit smacked out of them. Like, yeah, try Jesus. Once again, try Jesus. Don't try me. And I like, and it's so sad. And once again, you can't even really do that now because everybody's so fucking scared. Instead of having to fight, they just run to the fucking guns. Okay, so I've been a licensed firearm user for 9 years now. Ask me how many times I've had to pull out my firearm.
How many times have you pulled out your firearm?
Once. Superintendent ready to use it. And why is that? And this is on a personal note. This isn't military experience or stuff like that because he had grabbed his out. So yes, if I see you have yours out as I'm walking away from my car, I have mine out. And it was at my side at the ready. I got in my car and I left. That was it. Point blank, period. So I'm just saying, like, there's so many, and when I say I drew my firearm, it wasn't drawn and pointed. It was just drawn at my side as I was walking away. Because I knew I was in a situation where it wasn't even at me, but hey, I see Buddy has a gun. I'm going to protect myself and get myself out of the situation. So, where I hear a lot of people say, oh, somebody has a gun. If you have a gun, you got to shoot them first. No. You protect yourself and get yourself out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's different levels to this shit. And I don't even know how I got back on fucking guns. Maybe because I love guns so much and I hate that, like, all you fucking cowards and pussies are gonna fucking affect everything for me instead of throwing hands. That's the problem. You fucking conservative white boys never had your fucking ass beat. You guys have been able to sit here between fucking Twitter fingers and just fucking type and never get fucking punched in your goddamn fucking mouth. That's your fucking problem. Which brings me to my next thing of fucking, yep, that's racist. And I know we've kind of jumped the gun. Usually we're not into, yep, that's racist this early, but I'm fucking pissed the fuck off. So apparently there's a guy, a professor from UNH, University of New Hampshire. His name's Craig Chapman. What does Craig Chapman do? Craig Chapman wants to be black once again so fucking bad that he poses as a black Twitter thread, as a black female professor, to incite hysteria as a now right-wing black person. So he made a whole Twitter account saying, how much the right is right and go anti-left and blah, 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 blah. Come to find out, he's too much of a loner to actually, to actually have friends and talk about this shit, that he has to make up his own identity as a black woman. Not to sit there and say that shit's not fun, but he's actually trolling other people and actually making conspiracies and messing with people's livelihoods with this Twitter account. Let's see here. Let's read something. We have it right here where it says, you had just put it up about the privilege. I am an immigrant woman of color who grew up in poverty, sleeping on a dirt floor. No, you're not. You're an overprivileged white guy that wanted to stir up some bullshit, and you couldn't be smart enough to present it in your own voice and opinion. So you decided to go ahead and broadcast it as somebody else that you're not. Do we not see what's fucking wrong with you idiots? What's sick in the head with y'all? Like, y'all are fucking sick. This is some like disturbing shit, that this is what y'all are out here doing just to try and just prove a point. I don't know, Joe. Like, I don't know. I didn't realize that the bar was this low, that people had to go out of their way to act as a woman of color, a white professor having to act as a woman of color just to try and post rants and affect the livelihoods of transgenders, even people of color. And I think the person had more than 13,000 followers too, by the way.
Do you think there's an element, you just sort of brought it up with that other piece of trash, the conservative whore, Angelica Rose, Crystal, that element of admiring black people so much that you want, and I'll tell you what, I had a childhood friend, Rob, who I had to unfriend and block on Facebook. Real conservative guy. We'd been friends for a really long time, and he had gotten laid off from his job because he's a fucking loser. But not in his mind. In his mind, he's pretty amazing. And suddenly he got very he was racist. He insisted to me repeatedly that he would love to be a black man in America today. You get life is just like oh man, yeah, being a black guy, that's where it's at. This guy said to me one time, white people can't get a fair shake in the justice system. And I thought, no fucking loser. It's just you. It's just you. Every other fucking white person's doing great. You. And when you're the only white person that's fucking trailing, it's easy to point to other people. That's who the problem is. It's not me.
There's a stat, and I was just trying to look it up, but there was a situation where a black kid, I believe it was in Virginia, versus a white kid, and literally the same crime, but the black kid got like 15 years, whereas like the white kid got like 2 months probation.
Yeah, that's
so it's just
standard.
Like, I mean, any white guy that wants, I don't care what, if you're from low class white America, upper class white America, if you want to try, I mean, it's never possible, but I would love to switch places with a white person just for a day, just so they can see, just to see, just so they could see. And then they would be like, you know what? Yeah, I go back to being white. And honestly, you can't even say it's a mentality. It's literally a skin tone thing. It's literally a skin thing. Because, I get around some black people and they're like, dude, you're super white. I get around some black people, they're like, oh, you're too on the other side of the black. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the questions I was going to ask you. Where do you feel like you fall in on your color spectrum, on your culture spectrum? Like, are you like, you're not super white, but you're not like, where do you fall in your, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, most people don't think I'm white when I meet them, especially other really white people, like white people definitely don't think I'm white. Hispanics have all but taken me for their own most of my life. Hispanics. Hispanics come up to me all the time. They're like, "Are you Puerto Rican or Cuban?" And I'm like, neither one.
I get mixed for Dominican.
You kind of got that Dominican face. I could see it. I could see where people would think that.
Yeah, it was big too when I was coming up because I had like the nice wavy hair when I actually cared about my hair before I got into the military.
Wavy hair with eyebrows and all that. Yeah. I could see it.
At least like I was Dominican. And now, I guess I was a big letdown because when I first moved to New Britain, they were like, I would go to the bodega, and of course, every Dominican owns a bodega, or all the bodegas are owned by Dominicans, I should say. And they start speaking Spanish to me, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm not Dominican," and they're like, "Oh shit!" But then they realize I'm cool, and then I didn't realize that there was like a whole, like Dominicans don't like black people. I didn't realize that. Like you really got to
I think Dominicans like Dominican blacks, but not regular blacks.
Yeah,
but again, it's just tribalism. It's just what we do. We can't help ourselves. That's why the Elks Club's a thing. Seriously, anywhere you get a stupid fucking hat that matches your buddy's hat, you join a fucking club. That's what we do. We're a tribal species. And we try to pretend like we're not.
Oh, no, we are.
Listen, over the last 8,000 or 9,000 years, human beings have done something that most species on this planet would never do. We have intertwined and interspecies, or whatever you want to call it.
No.
Other species don't do that, but we do. Well, again, at the end of the day, this is how alike we all are. Again, I remember some time ago. This is the racist lessons I was given in my Catholic school, was the idea that robins don't mate with blue jays.
Don't they?
No.
Hmm.
What kind of bastard birds are you seeing by your house? No,
I don't pay attention to the birds.
Birds just mate with each other.
I mean, yeah.
You could.
A bird's a bird,
and not for nothing. I mean, you could like people do like pugs and poodles and get like pugs or poodles or whatever they are. Yeah. You can make two animals fuck and make something different, but birds just won't naturally do it. And so that was always the argument I heard when I was a kid and I'll tell you this, growing up as a white person in a very diverse town, I got the sense that not only should I marry within my race, but specifically within my ethnicity. Like I should find a nice Italian girl to marry.
See, I don't.
You know what I mean? It wasn't even like find yourself a nice white girl. It was like specifically a Roman Catholic brunette. Well, you're getting really specific here, Dad. That's weird, but yeah, that was. And I don't think it's weird to think that way until you start meeting actual human beings.
And then when you actually start getting outside of your
right, and then Rob, you're like, oh my god, like think about the first white person you became friends with that you could genuinely say you loved.
Yep.
And you were like, well, that's not weird.
Yes.
I always thought it was gonna be weird.
No, like I don't know, like I guess I've just always been around diversity. So like to me it's just like to think of your environment
dictates everything.
Everything, exactly.
If your grandma's racist, you're probably a little racist.
But even
if your grandmother was like a super fucking progressive liberal, you're not a racist.
Very true.
It really comes down to the people who you grew up around, what the environment was. If the black dudes were kicking the white dude's ass at your high school, you're probably a little racist. If you went to a high school where it was mostly white dudes, you don't really know any black people. So you're that kind of racist. You're the kind of white person who assumes if there were black dudes at your high school, you would have gotten your ass kicked, which is a whole other subset, Rob. Those are the people who imagine what happens when BLM and Antifa come to the suburbs and they're freaking out about it.
Dude.
They have no idea how much they would enjoy the company of BLM and Antifa if they got talking to them.
If he actually came to a cookout and actually had fun instead of judged everybody and, thought about what your God was going to be, thinking about what you're doing and, just came, actually threw a couple beers back, puffed on a little L here and there, played some spades, you probably have a good time. Good old time.
We all smoke the same weed, man.
Exactly. Comes
I
from
think
the same
if we that's the thing, right? I mean, can you imagine if there comes a time in the future where we're separated into like fucking sativas and indicas? Like, this motherfucker smokes indica. Kick his fucking ass, dude. Like what? We're killing each other because what? Like, I could see it because that's how fucked up human beings are. That it's like we would need to create and find something to dislike about another group of people.
And so where does that, I wonder where, I mean, it would have to be sometime, I would probably say like teenage years. Guys back in the day, most of our parents would think the same or just, so even kind of sticking to that, where does that mindset change, I should say. And I say that because my sister sent me a picture last week and I meant to share it last week, but there was a picture of at the rally in Glastonbury, right? Somebody had took a picture and there were kids at the rally, but across the street. And so I guess the kids were kids of parents, I guess, of both sides, and both like white and black kids. And I think there was a Hispanic kid there. They were all playing. Meanwhile, and the caption read that, meanwhile, the parents are across the street arguing about ideas. And it's just like, where the fuck is that change? Where does that switch go? You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, we have children of both sides playing with each other, not giving a damn about what the hell's going on, just having fun. Like, when does that theory set and why do we have to change that? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't want to sit there and say that, the liberal mindset is right. And then they switch over to the conservative mindset, because the conservatives can sit there and say, well, our mindset is right. And then they switch over to the liberal mindset, because you think about the changes of like somebody that maybe was a conservative or grew up in a conservative household and now is like, I get to see the world a little bit differently, went to college, and now I'm liberal a little bit.
When you talk about our parents' generation, like the baby boomers, I still know baby boomers who think the liberals fucked that all up. And it's interesting they would say that because, that was the civil rights era. So, it's like when you say things like that, do you see why we think you're being a little bit racist? When you talk about the good old days and you're talking about the 50s, the 1850s, it's not, it doesn't endear what you're saying to anybody else.
No.
So I'm telling you, literally for me, I went to a parochial school. I knew one black kid growing up. And it wasn't even the same black kid. It was just another black kid who looked like that black kid. And for years, I wasn't even sure it was a different person. That's how limited my experience with black people was. So,
appreciate the honesty, though.
I'm just, that's what else can I do? I mean, I don't pretend I'm perfect. You know what I mean? I've lived and I've learned. And, I remember, I'll tell you, I played high school football. I played Little League. I had black friends. So like friends, but not like best friends. And then I got to college and I had two black guys who were like, we were tight. And before I stopped noticing, I noticed it. And I was like, just like white dudes.
Just the same. Well, just the same.
Once I realized that, Rob, but I don't know. Then I just sort of forgot it was even a thing. I just forgot it was a thing. I just didn't, and when you become friends with black guys, you become friends with black girls. And once that happens, my friend, I tell you what, especially when you've never dated outside of your race, and you meet like the smoking hottest black girl you've ever seen in your life.
All that chocolate, and you're just like,
Holy smoke. It's like,
I think
what
that's
is
where,
all that? I
you know,
never saw it like that before.
I'm telling you, the joke carried over with the men of, once you go black, you don't go back. No, it starts with the women. Once you get a black woman, you really just like, yeah, it's kind of hard. Even for me, I came to Connecticut and my brother was like, hey, white girls. And I was like, hey, my older brother says white girls. Let me go find me a white girl. And then I actually found me a black girl. And I said, oh, now I see what the hype is. It's not even a black on black thing, but hey, but you know what I mean? But then I just met women. And then I said, oh, women are just dope in general because there's crazy white women, there's crazy black women, there's crazy everybody.
Well, that's what happens. See, then you meet that great black girl, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, Asian chicks are hot too? What the fuck is this? What are we doing
crazy
here? Then all of a sudden, like, I want to say by like my early 20s, I think my parents were no longer of that, like, finding like good Catholic Italian girl. I mean, I don't like that. Wasn't even like that. Stopped kind of being a thing for them.
Yeah.
And so I didn't give a crap. Like, my own daughters, I have 2 daughters that are, dating age. And they've asked me as far as what the sex or race of the person they're dating should be. And I always say, so if the person's treating you right, I really don't give a shit. Like, I don't.
But
I don't know why anybody does. This goes back to my number one rule. If I got to make up the commandments, there would be one. Don't be an asshole. Just fall back on that one every time. Every time you look in the mirror, you're like, what's the non-asshole move? That's the one I'm doing. That's what Joe said. If you do that, things are going to be all right. But you should want people to be with people that make them happy and love them and will care about them and not make them your problem.
There you go.
You should want.
What would Joe do? That's the real WWJD.
Telling you, you should want people to treat you, and you should treat people like you would want them to treat your kid. A few weeks ago in the baseball playoffs, or before the playoffs even started, the Yankees have a backup catcher named Eric Kratz.
Okay.
Who was an amazing young relationship with a lot of the young Hispanic players, 20-year-old players from the Dominican who spend most of the year here in America. They don't speak English, and they have nobody from home. This guy's a 40-year-old journeyman. And he's been taking these dudes under their wings. And Davey Garcia of the Yankees made his major league debut and was fortunate that Kratz got to catch him. And he had an amazing first game. And the media made a big deal about it afterwards. This 40-year-old, bald, white as white can be guy. And this 21-year-old, dark-skinned Hispanic kid. And Eric Kratz said, when asked why he treated Davey and a lot of these other Hispanics so well, he said, I would hope somebody would do that for my kids.
There you go.
And I thought that was such a basic answer, dude, but it's like truth.
Stand-up shit, yeah. Like
if you treat people the way you'd like them to treat your kid, you treat people a whole fucking hell of a lot better. I guarantee it. And more respectfully. And I tell you, I think if the world saw more respect all around, it would definitely be a step in the right direction. It's not the be all end all, but I bet you it would help.
Big ass step. And that's why I don't understand how people can morally support this idiot. Because
I can't.
Like, if you would not, I don't see how anybody would allow him in the vicinity of their child like that. Like, period. Like, just, I don't know. You hit it right on the head, though. Like, go back to always that first commandment. You know what? I think that should be it. Like, that's going to be like the I'll piss you off shortly. We have our commandments here and I'll piss you off shortly. And it's only one. Don't be an asshole. And by who? The big J man himself, Joe. WW. I think that's what WW Joe D. Joe D. What would Joe do? Not Jesus. But once again, we figured it all out. They took 10 commandments or 14, shortened it down to 10, and now we've shortened it all down to 1 and have literally just solved.
Again, I talked about this earlier. Somebody asked me, and we talked about this on the last show. I don't think I've mentioned it on this show yet, but then my brain's fried. So maybe I did. Somebody asked me, why are so many old school Republicans voting Biden. Human decency was my response.
Simple as that. Human decency. The places you can go.
The guy's an asshole. How could anybody support that? How do you look at your kids and go, that's our guy? How do you do that? How do you do that and feel right about yourself?
I don't know. The same way people feel right about themselves loading knives upward in the dishwasher and then expecting me to. I'm serious. You think I'm joking? That shit pisses me off. And I guess that's a perfect time to kind of get into like this weekly recap. I'll start with there.
What happened? Did you get hurt?
How do you? Okay, so since we've all been living together, my girlfriend and my mother-in-law, we'll say that, right? So they load the dishwasher fucking wrong, and I say fucking like I'm sorry when you load the dishwasher. Knives go down, like handle up, knife down, sharp point down, and forks fucking handle like forks go down too. Those things are fucking sharp. If I reach to go grab something, I shouldn't almost fucking stab my hand. So here we go. I'm trying to be the good, be the good guy in the house. Did the dishes, unload the fucking dishwasher, and I go to like reach for the basket with all the utensils, and I literally feel a nice little poke and puncture. It's a fucking knife, a steak knife, front side up, blade up. So like, I don't know how you guys out there in the world fucking load your dishwasher if you have it, but like, please be cognizant of like, put your shit down. Put the that shit's so aggravating, Joe. And that's the other thing. And then what even pissed me off, not even the fact that I got like almost stabbed by it, but it was the little piece of food that was still on it.
Oof.
So I'm like, what the fuck? So once again, I'm the guy. I was raised that if you're going to use a dishwasher, you're pretty much going to wash the dishes twice. And you're going to wash them and then put them in the dishwasher and let the dishwasher, because you can't trust the dishwasher.
I hate the dishwasher.
And it was such a waste. It's just a waste of money, waste of utilities. It's just a more convenient thing, right? But it's just like, fuck, man. I don't know how you guys do it, but out there in the world, but if you don't put your fucking knives and shit down, they're supposed to go down. Like not handled down with sharp point up. Like that's common courtesy. All right. Dishwasher etiquette.
People can get hurt.
Yeah. And that's just like how do you put your toilet paper? Flap up or flap down?
Flap
comes up
in closest.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I think mine goes from the top. So top, not so like if you pull it, it comes from the top. It comes rolling.
It's only weird when it's wrong. I switch it. I only know it when I see it. I'm like, oh no, this isn't right. I can't do this.
I feel like, you got to pull it from the top, because if you I feel like if you go from the bottom, it just yanks and it just keeps rolling. And
if I can't just pull it and it starts coming at me, I don't like that. If I gotta start rolling it and pulling it out. That's like a 2-step process. That's more than I'm willing to give at that point.
It's way more effort. Oh, here we go. We got flap down. Okay, so Frank says flap down. All right. As long as
strike me as a flap down guy.
Hey, I thought you would have said Frank. What, let me know in the comments. What do you guys do? Will you flap up, flap down? Let me know. And as far as dishwasher, I hope everybody's putting your utensils down. Let's hear what else. That's something that also reminded me. As I'm getting into this parent thing, 5 years into the parent thing right now. Well, not 5 years, 3 years into this parent thing. I have so much more respect for my dad and the shit he used to complain about. And I feel so sorry that he used to have to complain about him to me as I was growing up. Like, turn off the lights, like move your fucking shoes from the stairway. Like,
oh my God, that's like my wife, dude. Jesus. Are you that guy?
No, like I'm not, but I'm definitely the guy that if I would definitely go in Donnie's room and I'm shutting his blue lights off. I'm turning everything off. I'm kicking his shoes over to the area where his shoes should go to give him a hint, put your shoes up. Or Oh, I'm definitely the Lego throwaway. If I step on a fucking Lego and it's not like part of a project, it's going in the trash.
That's
Super
right.
going in the trash. Like if I have seen the same item on the floor for like more than 3 days and it hasn't moved, that means it's not being used. It's going in the trash. So like all the daddy shit that like I used to be like, yo, why is he being such an asshole? I get it now. I get it. I'm not so much vocal about it because like my dad, I think I learned that from my dad too. Like he was just super quiet about it. Like I would leave shoes at the door and then they wouldn't be there. And I'm like, fuck, he got them. And then literally it started.
Kidding.
Oh my God. Like he hated shoes at like the front door or like the back door where we all used. So like he would come home from third shift working at Pratt. And then he would just be like, get your shoes. And I'm like, well, I literally just came in the door. Like I'm going to, nope, get your shoes. So like literally the nights that like we would leave especially me, I would have like 1 or 2 pairs by the door because I was always in and out. I would wake up and be like, I know I just bought a pair of shoes and they're at the door. Yep. I realized it when my dad actually wore one of my pairs down and he had confiscated them and didn't want to give them back. And he didn't. He didn't. And it went from like him collecting them and then he gave them back. One time he gave them all back to me. He was like, this is the last time I'm giving your shoes back. Next time they're all going in the trash. And yeah, like I would leave them downstairs and he would just in the trash. They would go. So yeah, I get it now. I get it. It's, well, not necessarily the shoes, but definitely the lights. Like lights on bothers the fuck out of me. Like, I hate lights on.
I love leaving lights on. And the only time I ever scold my kids is if my wife walks in and she's like, all the goddamn lights on. I'm like, come on, kids, turn the fucking lights off. Because here's what I heard, and she tells me I'm wrong, but it costs more money to turn the light off and then I don't know. Maybe that's all bullshit. I feel like the whole thing's on a running meter anyway.
It just keeps ticking.
You ever notice that? You ever look at your meter outside?
Something's always running.
Is it ever not running?
Well,
You know
apparently,
what I mean?
like it still runs if you have shit plugged in, which I'm like,
Right.
that's fucking bullshit. Like, there's like an on and off button, like, which makes sense because it's still getting some kind of electrical current, but not enough to keep my fucking meter ticking.
That's why I keep it steady. Keep all the lights on.
And that's the thing. It's not even a
surge.
bill
I
thing.
think they get you on the surge.
As
soon as you start, that's where they get you. That's why I like to keep the lights steady. But she hates it.
See, and it's not even like a bill thing to me because I honestly I don't feel like it affects the bill too much because even then, like we tried for a whole month to literally try our electricity consumption, and it was like still the same. So I don't know. I think it's just more of just like a, I guess, traditional thing that I should probably let go of now. But it's still like fucking lights. Turn the lights off.
I will tell you one thing I've learned about adulthood and being a parent and the home ownership and just I understand because we had a huge backyard, a lot of trees. And I understand now why my grandfather lived with us. Because he was an old Portuguese man who literally till the day he died, like worked his fingers to the bone and like a pair of slacks and a wife beater from like 7 till like 9 p. He was out in the yard chopping wood, mowing the lawn, planting the garden. I mean, my dad didn't have to do any of that crap, and neither did I. And now that I have to do it for myself. I mean, I try to pay people when I can, but like I have a pool. I have an in-ground pool. It's like $350 to get your pool opened and closed. You could pay like $100, $200 a week to get it serviced. I don't pay any of that shit. I don't use anything but this one particular kind of shock. And it's not a non-chlorinated shock. I spend no kidding about $200 a year to maintain my pool.
What?
Yeah. Now the electric's probably like $1,000 because the filter's on 24/7 because I have to always have it running or it'll go green fast because I don't put any shit in my pool.
Gotcha.
I'm the first pool guy I ever met. Gave him $300. He opened my pool. He's like, "You don't need any of that shit. It's all fake. You just need this." I went out and bought it.
And then it's just been working like a charm.
That's all I use. Dude, you
Oh,
throw
cool.
some of that in the water, your water's crystal clear.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all a horseshit scam. That's the whole thing, though. You just got to learn shit. You got to know stuff. Also, I got a buddy who lives around the corner.
Mhm.
I can pick up stuff, and he likes to move shit. So I'm all, whenever he needs a guy, I'm like, just grab me, and I'll move to shelf with you. I'll carry the couch, whatever we got to do. And he comes over and fixes my shit.
There you go.
You got to have a
Okay.
co-op, buddy.
See, there you go.
Got to be smart. Got to play it smart. That's what I learned about being an adult, because my dad never did any of that shit.
See, yeah,
He had no co-op, buddy. He had no one to help.
See, my dad always taught me you keep a couple, like, not like fiends, but people that always could need an extra job. You know what I mean? There's, that always need a little extra hand. So, I try and find the guys that, like, I know they know what they're doing, but they don't necessarily have, like, the appropriate funding to, get themselves licensed or whatever the case may be. Like, yeah. So I tend to call my dad's guys. Because, like, I definitely, I became the adult that didn't want to have to do all that yard work, because I definitely did a lot of it growing up and all the extra shit. I like to work smarter and not harder. I like to put my energy towards other things. So I'm like, when I become like an official full-time homeowner, I think that's probably going to change. But as far as like pool wise, we have the above ground pool, and I hate that thing. I hate fucking having to do that like every week. So like the next thing, like I want to get rid of that thing so bad. I'm lazy to that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm even the type of person that, like, I've grown into being very fond of, instead of doing oil changes myself, I'll pay somebody to go ahead and just do that. It might not be a big old business, but I'm definitely paying little Johnny off the side of the not off the side of the road, but Johnny that I know who can do a good oil change to do that shit for a lot cheaper than anything else.
You know what I try to do? I try to give everything a shot.
There you go.
Try to give it a shot. And my wife's pretty cool like that. If I go out there, I try to do some masonry work like 3 times now. One time it came out all right. And that structure is still mostly together. The other 2 times, right after I did it, she was like, "Oh, that was really sweet. Would that cost like $100?" And I'm like, "Yeah, shit show that it was." And then she hires somebody for like a couple grand, and they do the job right. So we end up spending like $2,100 on every job, because there's always I always tell people we redid our master bathroom.
Okay.
And she wanted a new vanity for the wall. Why the old vanity wasn't good enough, I don't fucking know. You'll notice our vanity is about 2 inches slightly to the right of the sink. It's a big one, so you have to really look at it to notice that it's a little bit off.
Yeah.
The reason it's a little bit off is in the middle of the wall are 2 giant holes. And so then once I had it figured out, I just moved it this way. Perfect. And my wife, after I finished, my wife walked in, and the first thing she said was, "Why is that crooked?" Or no, why is that off center? It was the first thing she said. And I was like, "Dude, it's either that or you can see the fucking holes in the wall. Your call.
Your choice.
That's what you get. You hire me, that shit's going to be off center. Hire a professional. You want that shit done right."
See, yeah, I'm the professional. I think, my girl is you, and I'm definitely your wife, and that we've definitely switched roles on that one.
Yeah,
I'm definitely the paid person. I'm definitely like, even now, like our yard work now. Yeah, we have a guy. Yep, pay him. Yep, yep. I don't feel like doing it. Nope. But I think I want to start getting a little bit more handy. We'll see, especially when it comes to carpentry shit. Oh, let's see here. You know what I do need to start working on, though? I need to start working on being a better friend. I am definitely that friend that, like, if you text, I would definitely reply to you in my head before I reply to you, like, in person or like in a response. I definitely don't know how to. I'm starting to realize that, like, holding a conversation, I suck at. And I say that because I don't know where. So, like, if you call me and you're like, hey Rob, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, nothing much. How's it going? And you're like, hey, not much. How's it? From there, I don't know where to go because I want to be like, I want to tell you everything that's fucking wrong with me. Joe is super blunt with that.
Blunt's the key word tonight.
I can't wait. Can't wait. You know, if we had some real viewers, we would have an after show, but maybe eventually in the next couple of years.
The after show will be blazing.
Blazing, definitely.
Yeah.
Super blazing. Hot fire. Hot fire. If you could see it, Miss Cleo smoke ball.
There it is.
Hey.
Second reference. Are you? So you're a bad friend? Is that what you're saying? Are you?
I'm not saying I'm a bad
You don't
friend.
get back to people right away. You get the text
like,
and you're like,
totally
after lunch I'll respond.
No, not even like after lunch. Like I see,
but then you
text,
forget after lunch.
I reply in my head, and then like a fly goes by, or like I get distracted, and then like I put my phone down, and then it's totally. Like in my head, I responded, but I definitely didn't respond because I said something in my head, but I didn't really put it on like on paper or even like having like conversation. Like I feel like I'm not the type of person that like has a bunch of things to talk about, or if I do, it's like a lot of creative shit. And I know a bunch of people don't want to just listen to me be creative all day. So then I'm like, okay, how do I find the intermix between what I want to talk about and what somebody else wants to talk about? Because with me, there's like maybe 3 things that I want to talk about all day. That's either like some creativity shit, some finance shit, or just being, I don't know, just off the wall conspiracy shit. Other than that, I don't really know. Like, I don't know what else to talk about. Sports is boring. That's like, I put sports in the same category as the weather. You ask me what sports is, that means you really don't want to fucking really talk. Just like with weather, because everything with sports is so vague now. And so it's just like, I don't know. So I guess I gotta like I need to have like a conversations class. I think that's why I do so well at podcasting, because I can just talk and not have to like hold physical conversation other than like with you.
Yeah,
and, like our conversations are like actually entwined, so like we understand each other. So it just makes it a little bit easier.
Well, maybe we can have a lesson real quick.
Let's do it.
Because a mutual buddy of ours, a fella by the name of Trevor.
Okay.
He's got a buddy. He's got a brother named Ted. I won't say anything more about Trevor. Trevor has a podcast, and Trevor really likes me. We've gotten to be very close, Trevor and I, and he's a great dude. And like you, they're selling hoodies for their show.
Okay.
And so he literally just texted me while you were talking, and he said, "Do you want a hoodie for their podcast?" And of course, I said yes.
Yes.
So he said, "What size do you want? And which color?" And I said, "I'll take a black XL." And he said, "Okay." Then he said, "Sounds good." Then he said, "Are you sure you don't want a 2X to be safe?" I said, "Maybe." And he said, "It's about comfort as well."
See,
now, I love Trevor, but I don't think Trevor knows how many times he insulted me in that short exchange of text messages.
Like, are you sure about your size? Like, that's so fucked up. And see, that's the thing. Like, at first, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought you were reading our text message, because I was like, that sounds very familiar when I was asking you what you wanted, like shirt size. But I stopped. You were like, okay, yeah. What you told me the size, cool.
I was like, I could just jam myself into an XL, and you were like, okay. You didn't, there was no pushback. You weren't like, are you sure? Because for an extra $7, I can get you a 3XL.
Oh, just fuck the 2X.
I don't know if you ever noticed. I noticed this at Walmart a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
That small, medium, large, and extra large all cost the same amount of money.
Oh yeah. What you get that?
A 2XL
plus $2.
Or, and especially always, a 3XL costs more money.
Oh yeah.
I find that to be ludicrous. I mean, give me as if there's $3 fucking more worth of material on a
And
fat
it's not
guy
that
shirt.
much more.
Get the fuck out of here. The humiliation of having to pay more money for the same shirt some skinny twat's wearing really fucking burns my bottom.
It sucks. It really fucking sucks. I'm so glad I finally I don't even know, I didn't even exercise, but I'm finally into an extra large. So it's just like I don't have to pay that penalty. I called it the fat tax. I used to call it the fat tax. Well, I got that from a platoon sergeant. He was like, "Ha, Dunlap, you're in a 2X. You're playing fat tax. More money with less items in the pack." See? And yeah, that's another thing. You get into the 2X, the 3X, you don't get the extra shirt anymore. It's just, you know what I mean? The small through large or extra large, you get the extra shirt. You don't get the fucking
fat guy. You don't get anything.
The fat guy.
They used your extra material on one other shirt.
Good point, Trev. Good point. See, man, y'all gotta start showing love. You know what? I don't think there. I used to always wonder if there was like I'm sure there is now like a undergarment fucking website just for the big guys, other than Big and Tall, because Big and Tall is like boring old shit. Like we need some Big and Tall cool shit for the Big and Tall cool guys. I don't know. Maybe I'll pitch you off shortly. It has to be the website for that. Come up with some good Big and Tall fucking merch for us.
Get a nice big fat guy sweatshirt, like a 4X. And we're not going to charge you $4 more.
Exactly. All the merch at I'llPitchYouOffShortly.com, it's all one price. If you have a small, if you have a 2X, I'm pretty sure I made everything all one price. So, well, not everything's all the same price, but it's all one price. If you go get a hoodie, hoodies are $35, t-shirts are $25, I believe. Yeah. So make sure you guys go see that. I wanted to bring up one thing, but I'm gonna wait on that. I wanted to talk about the VP debates real quick. Realistically, the VP debates, they were cool. They're all right. I mean, I guess the hype is kind of down. We had the fly. Pence didn't answer shit. Kamala ducked some shit. Kamala Harris definitely missed a good couple points as far as advocating for women, especially women of color. And Pence just did what we expected him to do. It wasn't even anything interesting other than the fly, Flies land on shit. Flies are attracted to shit. Flies are attracted to smells. I've only seen flies land on things that are of some kind of bacteria infested. So yeah. Pence looks like that. Pence has no lips. Have you noticed that? You see that?
He's a fucking creep.
He's fucking. He looks like he would be that weird kind of doctor type to try and do some weird science shit and I don't know. He looks like he likes some weird shit.
He looks like he got burned over 90% of his body and they did a really good skin graft.
He was the original Two-Face.
Yeah.
Why don't they? Fuck, he looks sleepy. He really looks sleepy. His whole right side of his face just looks sleepy. You see that?
Yeah.
Huh. Fucking weirdo. Both him and his fucking buddy. And you know what's crazy? Creeper. Out of the president, the president and vice president groups I've seen, they're really not that conglomerate. They're really not together like that. They really don't feed off of each other as much. They suck. They suck together, really. I think Pence wanted the presidency, but fucking Trump his hype fucking hysteria came over, and then so many people were intertwined money-wise relations with him. I think honestly, even though I don't agree with a lot of Pence's bullshit and his values, I think I would have been able to suffer him being a fucking president over fucking Trump.
Well, it's funny. A lot of people when Trump got COVID were like, "Oh my God, I hope he dies." And I think Pence actually could win a re-election even on short notice. And simply all you'd have to say is "Hey, what could I do? I had no choice. Give me a shot, everybody. It'll all be different. You'll see. That's what I would go with if I was Pence. Plus, I thought there's like 13 active Republican groups that are campaigning against Trump. Those probably would have gone away if he would have died and Pence would have taken the nomination. So Trump living may have actually fucked the Republicans even harder.
You know, and I agree with that. When they were like, "Oh, Trump needs to die," I said no, because if Trump would have died within the first 2 years or something would have happened to him, we definitely would have been seeing Pence for another 4. So that would have been that. I definitely do think that this debate was actually a debate of future leaders, though, or what future leaders should be looking like. It gave an idea of what Kamala can present afterwards, after Biden, and kind of how she presents herself. So that was pretty dope. I definitely want to see her like really kind of step it up a little bit more, and I would like to see the debates be less about Trump and be more towards what their agenda is. They're still not pushing their agendas and what their views and values are going to be. So I don't know. It seems like the debate, the hype around the debates are dying down. Of course, one's already been canceled. I'm pretty sure the third one's going to be canceled. I think out of this, I don't even think that there really should be any more debates. Honestly, I think that like each party should probably host like should be able to buy a time slot for like a town hall, kind of like how Biden wants to do, I guess.
Yeah.
And just from there, like just do a town hall. You buy your little fucking time slot and it gets massively put out there, just like the debate. And you sit there and you hold your town hall and you literally talk about things other than the opposing fucking president. I'm just getting over having COVID-19. See, there we go. It wasn't fun at all. You know, this shit's serious. Like, stop thinking that this shit is fucking saving you and that your God is gonna fucking hold you from getting this disease. This shit's fucking serious.
Yeah, wash your fucking hands and wear a mask. Don't worry about Jesus. That's your best bet.
Yeah. Jesus does not give a fuck about you, neither does God. Yes, you heard it there first, and I'll pitch you off shortly. Jesus does not care about you, neither does God. Guess what?
Well, funny. I mean, again, just the story of the Last Supper. For anybody who is religious, the disciples went over to wash up, and Jesus yelled at them, told them not to wash their hands because that was an old Jewish custom.
So,
yeah,
it is what it is.
Probably not the guy we want to be talking to right now. Listen to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah,
fuck Jesus. Listen to Fauci. He's where it's at.
Once again, we're in a country where science and years of education has totally been put to the wayside to popularity and public opinion. Like, fucking guys, society, y'all are fucking morons. Y'all are fucking idiots. Like, this is crazy. Man, Alexander, man, my prayers and thoughts are with you, brother. Going back to work after being home 28 days. Hope your recovery is getting better. I really pray, you know what I'm saying? I can only imagine. Like, I can't imagine. I can't say I can only imagine. I can't imagine having to deal with that. Glad that you were able to recover and glad that you were able to get back to work. And hopefully your symptoms don't hinder you in the forthcoming future. So you guys, hey, it's personal account right here, and I'll pitch you up shortly. So that shit's not serious. Like, take that shit. I mean, that shit's nothing to play with. That shit is serious. Don't take it lightly. I know we've thrown the jokes and everything else like that, here and there, but like, especially me, but like, even now, like, that shit's, and it's only going to get worse. Like, I think it was last podcast or on Divided We Stand, you said that, flu season, you hinted, flu season's coming around the corner. The flu isn't no joke. Everybody takes that shit serious. So like, imagine catching flu. Can you catch flu and corona at the same time?
There's no reason to think you can't have both, and I believe people have died from both with both. So yes.
So like,
and that's got to be a real shit show, I would think.
Oh my God, like, yeah, like, and this is kind of the way I projected it, or I foresaw it. Like, yeah, summertime, it will kind of not die off, but like, it wouldn't be as not say as harmful, but it wouldn't be as potent because it's the summertime, and it's more, more air and everything else like that. The temperature's up a little bit more. It's not that stagnant. nasty kind of cold air, but now we're starting to get into it, right?
Yeah.
And our bodies are starting to open up and all that. Like, yeah, so it's nasty weather now. Nasty time. So yo, mask up. Keep yourself
If you
safe.
get COVID and the flu, you should try Jesus because you're fucked otherwise. I don't know what your options are at that point.
Or you could try and call Miss Cleo and get a better outcome. Yes, that's the third one. Yes. See how many more references we can get.
Oh, Miss Cleo.
no,
That is
fucking-
great.
That
is great. Miss Cleo was where it was at because, listen, Miss Cleo, not for nothing, but the same horse shit that lady's selling.
It's the same shit.
The same thing you're getting on Sunday, people. You're not talking to somebody who knows something that you don't. That's what this ultimately think about any reverend or priest or rabbi that you've had in your life. And I've had some fucking weird ones. I had one that left the priesthood literally and married our principal. But I'll tell you that fucked up story another day because there was a murder involved too. But if that isn't all the evidence that I needed that this guy was not inspired by God, but in fact by his cock, then I don't, you know what I mean? There was a guy counseling a family during a tragic murder of a child, and he was banging the mom.
The fuck? Y'all are sick.
And had her by like 20 years. I'm telling you, it's fucked up, dude. When people are fucking, we've all been in a bad relationship with someone that fucked with your head. Yes.
Yep. Yes.
So you already know the level of bullshit you'll put up with somebody who you think loves you and who you are convinced you love. Now, what if I told you that person was perfect and a fucking magical being from outer space? Created everything that you've ever had and anything that you could ever want.
Probably
I mean, it's easy to start fucking with people's minds, especially the weak, especially people who need love, especially people who need to feel wanted and appreciated, man. This is all mind control. Look, when Candace Owen is talking about black people losing the plantation mentality, I mean, I don't want to say she's right, but there's a certain level of what has the Democratic Party done for black people?
No. I'll say she's kind of right.
I mean, you could argue civil rights, but now it's been 40, 50, 60 years. So I don't know what we're standing. We didn't even really get them. You didn't even really get them. You almost did. In theory, you got them, but couldn't even nail it down. So
it's, in that aspect, I said, even though I hate her guts, there's something that she's right about. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely got to get out of this plantation mentality. But even then, part of that plantation mentality is religion. They forced that upon us during the plantations.
Sure. Again, look at every black leader in the last 40 years. I mean, if you're a reverend, you get the special treatment from white people. They like that. They want the religious to be the ones that sort of guide the black people. Because again, with religion, it's like, well, that group's controlled. That's good. That's what we want.
First place that go to the black community is where? The church, the black church.
Yeah.
Fucking weird. You know where I wish they would go to the black church for? Probably the black. It seemed like not just the black church, but the church itself is involved in all this fucking nasty sexual assault things and human trafficking and all this nastiness going around in the world that America is totally disregarding because of this election. And it's super, super nasty. Like, we have a whole election that's superseding women, children, boys, little girls, little boys getting kidnapped and taken and sold and all this. I swear it's every day I'm finding a new article of this house in Ohio or this house in New Jersey or this house in Georgia or this house in, somewhere. And it has like multiple just human people being human trafficked through there. Sex slaves, sex workers, children that have been on missing children's lists for 5+ years. I'm like, this shit's actually getting to the point where like I'm starting to get worried because it's just like the country has seen such a disregard for this that it just keeps flying under the radar, and it's going to keep flying under the radar. And like, I remember like years ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, it used to be like a big thing in like Russia. Not to say that these things are like good, this is good or whatever over there, but like, when did this shit get so heavy over here? Like literally, like children are gone every day. I'm scared to even have like my son outside playing.
450,000 kids go missing every year in the United States.
450,000
just in the U.S.
That is how many we've had 200 and something COVID deaths.
Yep.
But COVID is taking precedent. Think about that. COVID has taken precedent. COVID deaths and COVID we've had more, well, half deaths less pretty much, right? But that's what's taken over. But meanwhile, we can't keep our children and we can't keep our children safe or our significant others safe, or ourselves safe for that matter, right?
Alaska, by the way, is the worst state. Arizona, Oregon, Washington, and Vermont. Those are the states you're most likely to get swiped from.
That's good to know.
I've never been to Alaska, and unless I want to become an alcoholic drug addict, I don't think I'm ever going to go there.
Yep, not me neither. All my boys that have like been stationed there, they're like, yeah, that's the worst place, like Anchorage and all that shit. It's trash. Fairbanks. There's like Fairbanks rate, like fucking yeah.
The suicide rate in some of those really desolate areas is yes.
Domestic violence rate too, like fucking crazy. Super sick. Problems that everyone is so obsessed with getting Trump out of office that they forget everything else is going on. Very true. Very, very true. There's so much more going on. And I wanted to make light of that. Well, not make light of it or bring it to light on tonight's episode. Because it's just like America is super sick with this. And to see that we're allowing these kind of people still in office to remain in office. I said it earlier. You know, how sick would it be that we have a country that can't keep our children, our women, our children and family safe, but our president is at the top of the question list of the Weinstein case, of everything else. Like, they can't literally arrest him because your president would be getting arrested and taken down on more sexual allegations, sexual rape.
But to be fair, charges. And Bill Clinton too, probably.
Well, yeah, Clinton too, and I that's like, and not, you know what I mean, not to take it all away from them. That's
not to justify one or the other, but you know, it's eventually, Rob, we're going to see a list, and it's going to be disgusting, and it's going to be a lot of people who we formerly
potentially Obama too
admired.
Potentially Obama's too. I don't know. Potentially.
That dude's too cool for that shit.
I tell you this right now. I don't put shit past anybody. Because the shit that I've seen, or even just like witness in life, or you just like that person, that like, no, you know what I mean? It's crazy. That's why I tell people like, yeah, it's crazy. I think that list is really going to affect a lot of the ways that we look at people and just like celebrityism, or if that's a word, or like celebrity status, and even just like the politicians. Yeah, I think, you know, it would be amazing if politicians got paid to actually like do their job. And when I say that, like, got paid on a structure, like if a politician was like, yes, I believe human trafficking is horrible, and then my platform, I'm going to stop human trafficking, right? Imagine if you didn't stop human trafficking or make a solid attempt. Imagine if the citizens were able to be like, you know what? You didn't meet your goal. You didn't meet your quota. You can't get that fucking pay, or you can't get that fucking thing. Like, maybe shit would actually get done.
Do you know how lawyers get paid? Lawyers don't.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say
lawyers make like you maybe it's like $300 an hour, and you're like, wow. Well, now they don't always get paid $300 an hour. You have to be billing. Mm-hmm. You have to be doing something with a client for a case. That's how so you might be in the office 75 hours and you bill for 40. Okay. And I think our politicians, it should, instead of them just sitting there posturing for the camera, or if you watched any of that bullshit hearing today, where they're just running their mouths, then there's nothing's getting done. Waste of time. That's how we should pay them, based on what you actually do. You should have to turn in a certain amount of bills.
There you go.
You should have to attend a certain amount of hearings.
There you go.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That was gonna be my next thing, but I think I'm gonna save that for next week, because I wanted to talk about that and military and like the military structure and kind of my experience with the military and how I believe the military is a piece of shit. Not to sit there and say the military is a piece of shit, but a lot of the ideologies and beliefs behind the military, especially with all this Trump's kind of play and tug on the strings on the military. We talked about it a little bit. We hit on it for a second on Divided We Stand. But I'm not even gonna lie. My energy to kind of tackle that subject tonight is definitely not there. I've been getting my ass fucking kicked like the past couple of days. Fucking trying to get this new opportunity going. Which seems to be working out in good favor. Besides that, it's just been kicking my ass doing these classes and fucking trying to teach myself something I've never known before has been fucking draining me. So like, not even high, like at the hour and 5 mark, a whole like wall of tired came around me.
Hey, it happens. It happens. It's draining. Dude, last night, Jess and I went to go pick up our kid spent a weekend at her parents' house. And we went over there last night. We had spaghetti and meatballs. I had a seltzer with dinner. A seltzer. Like a White Claw. Like a basic bitch White Claw. Dude, we went and my son and I snuggled on the couch after we ate. We slept there last night.
There you go.
That's how old I am.
Man, I tell you, so I slept today. So literally, I don't know what it was. I've just been, my whole body's been off, right? So like I literally stayed up all last night, and instead of like doing work, I was doing like a little work and then like get off and like wander in YouTube land and then do a little bit more work. So I finally like slept today from, I think I laid down at like 9 and I woke up at like 1. So like, that's how much like I've really been able to sleep, from like 9 in the morning to 1 p.m. This today. Other than that, I've been up for like kind of 48 hours straight. Trying to get all this shit situated. So I feel you. Fuck it. I'm so glad. Like I fell asleep on the couch. I was in little man's bed this morning. I think I totally thought I was gonna wake up in my bed. I woke up in his bed. I thought I had laid down in my bed. No, I laid down in his bed. He was running around by the time I woke up.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, you know, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna save the military debate for next week, because I think I want to try and get another veteran, so that way it's not just me dogging the military. Because I've had some
now
like,
that I'm looking at it too, I think it would be good to have all the numbers, to have a lot of the numbers, so I think we can we can understand the scope of this. Because I'll tell you, before I started looking at these numbers, knowing we were going to talk about this stuff, I was ill prepared for what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the idea that almost 500,000 kids in the United States go missing every year is fucking insane.
It's crazy. It's out there. Like,
where are they going?
That's what I'm like. One, do they? Well, I haven't been in like a Walmart in so long, anyways. But do they still have that board up? Like,
oh yeah, the missing kid board, right?
I remember when like, and then like I would be seeing some of those shits. Like, it would be years. Like, I would literally see like their pictures up there for years. So I'm like. And then I would like, it would get sad when you would see like the pictures actually like exceeding the board. So like the pictures are like, yeah, it's sickening. I want, and I agree with you. I want to talk about this some more, but I want it to actually be true statistics, because I really want this to kind of hit home, and hopefully we can kind of swing mindsets away from the bullshit that doesn't matter. Like, these two old white guys trying to debate like who's going to be the better leader of this country, which obviously two old white guys, once again, being the leader of this country is probably not going to be the best thing, but that's neither here nor there. And then, me just ranting about that tiredly just doesn't do anything well. And then especially about the military as well. Because there's a couple of things with the military that I want to tie into the human trafficking, because believe it or not, and a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this, but military has something to do with that too as well, especially in these lower states. Good and bad, a lot of bad. So when you think about like what goes on in the military that a lot of people don't know about and don't realize, it's a nasty, nasty world. Nasty, nasty fucking world. And we've addressed this before with rest in peace of Vanessa Gilliam, that lost her life, and as well as a couple other soldiers that have come out as well about the Fort Hood area. So I think we'll tackle that next week. Yeah. As far as in rotation this week, I'm starting to see that I have a type, a big type. And I'll say mix girls with British accents is my type, that can sing, that have amazing R&B voices, that say can't instead of can't.
That is hot. The problem with that girl is never going to happen.
Come on.
No, I mean, I'm serious.
I know it's never gonna happen.
Dude, like, what are the? There's like 4 of them on the planet, and they're all smoking hot. No,
all smoking hot. And so my luck is that I have both of them on one song. Mahalia and Ella May, they're both from London. But they're making their noise in the States. Actually, like I have like 2 degrees separation from Mahalia. But like she's like mad young, and I love my girlfriend too much, and she's gonna like kill me if she ever listens to any of these episodes. So like y'all don't start like trying to find who my girl is and like trying to be like, hey, you need to listen to Harry. He's talking crazy. Somebody tried that. You know that? Somebody tried to fucking dry snitch me on my fucking podcast. I was like, oh, Rob has a crush on Snow Allegra. And I was like, yeah, you dummy. Me and her talk all the time. She knows that. Ha ha. You can't snitch on something she already knows. Stupid. But anyways, what you did by Mahalia, I always say Mahalia. I want to say Mahalia, by Mahalia, and featuring Ella May, my two crushes that like I would just love to like sit with both of them at a Waffle House and just hear their accents, just listen to them talk.
Oh my God.
There's literally a point where she says can't, she says can't.
I love that.
I can't forgive. I'm like, oh, my heart, it warms up. So what you did, check that out.
Something pretty amazing happened yesterday.
What's that?
And I can't let this go without sharing it with you, because it's only because of you I think it even happened.
Okay.
My daughter was telling us a story about a nun in her class, a 26-year-old nun. And I looked at my wife and I said, please let me seduce that girl. And my wife said, that could be your hall pass. Get that girl out of the nunnery.
There we go. That's a win. You heard it first. That's crazy.
26, and she's cute, and she's a nun. You're dedicating your life to something fucking fake, dude. Oh my God. You could become like a fucking Potterhead. You could love Harry Potter at like a weird level, and that would be better than what you're doing.
Oh my gosh, you should totally let me manage her, and we could start her up on our OnlyFans. You know how much money she can make? To be the nun that like, oh my God.
The fun nun?
Fun nun. Oh,
I'm writing that down.
We have to stop giving
nun.
ideas. We put too much ideas out here.
This really is like Shark Tank, the podcast. That's what this is turning into.
Like
Frank said, nice hall pass.
That's a win. Like I think that's better than my hall pass. Like that's a win. Like to turn the nun. Like, yep, that's your hall pass. Like that's amazing.
You know what the best was? My one of my kids goes, you guys have a hall pass? And my wife goes, no. She goes, your dad's my hall pass.
Whoa.
which I thought was super sweet.
That's
I'm
that's
still picking the
touching.
nun. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's so sweet, babe. But
Yeah.
yeah, me and the nun were
I gotta
on
do
it.
the nun.
But it was crazy. I was going with that. I was like, if you're the hall pass, damn. So that means she left somebody else for you, which still is a compliment.
Yeah.
Dude, like that's just a win-win. Like there you go. Fucking A. You just win it all around, Fucking A. Oh man. Trying to think before I fucking close out. So there was a shooting by my house. Some little 20-year-old got offed over some, I'm not gonna say what, but it's sad, honestly. And when I say it's sad that you guys are still, I know it sounds weird, but y'all are still shooting out here because your egos are fucking hurt. Like 20 years old. That's all I'm gonna say. Young boy was 20 years old. From apparently they have a nice little monument out there for him, literally like right down the street, right next to Central, and a little fucking gas station, little mart, right? Over some words being said, over some ego shit, and it just makes me think like life is way too short. Like to be 20 and to have your life taken. And it is like I've been around so many different things, but like when that shit hits home once again, and when I say hits home, like just right down the street, I'm like, fuck, I'm supposed to be around like it's supposed to be 2020. Like, and y'all are still letting small egos and like words put you in a certain place where you're ready to take somebody else's life, young life, put your life in that kind of situation, like over what? Over words. And I want people that's listening to this to also think about that and put that into life in perspective now, right? Because we started this, off of try Jesus, right? And trying to find the right things and the right like actions or right things that match words, right? Like, is that kind of violence really necessary if somebody says something about your girlfriend or something about your mother? And I'm not saying that this is what happened, but just just throwing that out there. Like I even look at myself like when I was younger, the dumb shit the dumb words that like, and I joke about a lot of this shit now. Like, yeah, you try Jesus, I like to fight, and I do, especially if you come at me disrespectfully. But like even then, like 9 times out of 10, like it's not even that serious. So we joke about it, but let's as a society, as a culture, just as a nation, like let's really think about what actions we're putting behind words and how it's really truly affecting us and how we're letting words truly affect us, because once again, it's words. You know what I'm saying? So like we want to make sure that like we put some thought behind our words, but then also before we put some crazy action to it. And I hope that the world actually listens to this and thinks about, what we can do better, like, and we see it right here. It's called ego, right? Check our egos at the fucking door. So,
well, again, I think though you throw in that religious element of the vicarious redemption, where I could shoot you in your face, Rob, in front of your whole family, and I get sentenced to life in prison, and I talk to a priest, and he tells me I accept Jesus, I can go to heaven, and I get eternal life. And so you're selling that fantasy to people. You're taking responsibility away from people, by handing it off to Jesus Christ. And you see a lot of that. I mean, it's, I work on a podcast where we've been dealing with a guy who's a murderer who has decided that his priest has cleared him of any wrongdoing on earth. No, he didn't. He did not. Because there is nobody. There's nobody that can redeem your sins. Not true. Not a real thing. And I think if people understood, like you said, you got one life, man. Live it to its fullest. Who's got time for bullshit?
Shit.
Who's got time for egos and losing a life for some stupid shit like that? Come on.
It's fucking dumb. No. Nobody has time for, and may that young man rest in peace. I don't know him or the whatever, the person that did the shooting, but like that could have been somebody's father, that's somebody's son, like that's somebody's brother, whatever the case may be. Like this shit's trash, man. So I really hope America, we start growing the fuck up. Stop letting idiots run your lives. Stop letting idiots manipulate your thought process. Start thinking for yourselves. Know that people out here love you. Know that, you know what I'm saying? Like before all this bullshit, like we were able to unify, right? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, politicians suck, man. And if your politicians suck, get them the fuck out. This is your vote. This is your country. They don't run you. We run them, right? But there we go. Vote for something. 2020. I don't know if that's actual fucking somebody's actually like hashtag, but it just felt right. Vote for something. That's my. Everybody asks what's I'll pitch you off shortly doing for the campaign. There we go. Vote for something. If you're smart, you'll be able to read on the bottom. I always like to live subliminals.
I just got it. You said it to me before, and I didn't get it. Now I get it.
But yeah, vote for something 2020. All right. I was going to talk about this real quick. Lovecraft Country. Go watch that. I totally forgot who's distributing that. Pretty weird black sci-fi by Jordan Peele and J.J. Abrams. Pretty cool. Like it's sci-fi weird type shit. But like super pro black cast. So like I'm trying to give it a little extra effort into it. Super weird, but it's cool. And then basketball, I'm on a losing streak. I figured I'd update a couple people. A couple people have been following my basketball journey. I've gotten my ass handed to me the past 2 weeks. So, hopefully we'll be able to, get back into the swing of things. I've been battling the injury, I don't have millions of dollars to put into my body like LeBron. So we just,
Oh my God, I was going to say that. You started to sound like LeBron with the excuses. That's good.
Yeah, you got to, and congratulations to them. They won. Did the Yankees end up winning the World Series?
No. Next topic.
Oh man. Is the World Series done? Over?
No, the World Series, but the Yankees certainly won't be in it. So,
see. Okay. All right. Well, I guess with that being said, if you like, I'll pitch you off shortly. We have a Cash App. Cash App $, I'll pitch you off shortly. If you want to give us some tips or whatever the case may be, hey, getting me and Joe coffee maybe one day. That'd be nice. That'd be beautiful. Or you can go to I'llPitchYouOffShortly.com, get you some merch, get you a hoodie, get you a shirt. Yeah. Other than that, this has been a good episode. I owe you guys a couple minutes. I owe you guys a couple good topics. Sorry I got tired. But yeah, this has been a good episode, I think. Joe, you got anything for the people?
I think I'll just leave it with the first commandment of I'll piss you off shortly. Just don't be an asshole. Try that for a week and let me know how it goes for you. Just opt for not being an asshole. Tell me if your life isn't better next week.
There you go. That's a week challenge. Don't be an asshole. Let us know. And hey, whenever you think that you're going to be an asshole, just think. WWJD. What would Joe do? For Rob Benjamin, Joe Aguirre. I'll piss you off shortly. You guys have a good night.
One day. I'm going to get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly.